What's up, guys? Welcome back to Bariatric Confessions podcast with your girl, Zipporah. So today, let's talk about one of the hardest things it is to do, which is just to get up. Okay, so I'm on this journey of just building consistency for myself in like all areas, but especially in fitness, like when it comes to my exercise, because I want that to like trickle down into everything else, that I'm doing. And I am the best person at being inconsistent. I have a lot of ideas. I like to start stuff because that's exciting. And then like at some point I might lose interest, or at some point it just becomes maybe too difficult, or I don't know what else to do with it. So I'll end up, stopping it, sometimes pausing it, sometimes completely walking away from it, and then I'll move on. Or sometimes I'm just distracted, a little bit of ADHD type, stuff going on. But I wake up in the morning, every morning, Monday through Friday. Consistency for me is Monday through Friday. And my goal is to wake up at 6 a.m. That doesn't happen all the time. So I wake up between 6 and 6:30, maybe 6:45. And during that time, my goal is just to walk or do whatever type of exercise for 10 minutes, just 10 minutes. But, like the hardest thing to do is actually to get up. But then once I'm up, I'm fine. Like once I'm up, I'm fine. I have interruptions. My daughter come in the room, waking me up several times a night, my 4-year-old. But even still, like on the rare occasion which she doesn't, I still don't just pop up out the bed at 6 a.m. I hit the alarm. I'm not even going to front. I hit that snooze alarm from 6 a.m. to about 6:25, 6:30. And I have to have a hard stop because I wake my kids up at 7:15 so they can get ready for school, to catch the bus, all 3 of them. So I have to have a hard stop, or else I'll run into a time issue and then I won't be able to do my little 10-minute walk. So when I'm actually able to get up, or when I actually am getting up, like, I'm like, okay, let's just get up. I'm talking to myself in my head. At this point, I'm just laying in bed, wasting time. Sometimes I'm scrolling on social media, but either way, I'm wasting time. Okay, let me get up. I put my feet on the ground, go in the bathroom, do my thing, wash my face, brush my teeth, put my contacts in, and by the time I come out the bathroom, sometimes by the time my feet hit the floor, I'm okay. But the hardest thing to do is actually get up. And that's crazy. That's like seriously crazy. So the way how I kind of like help myself is, number one, I'm on a time limit. And number two, I know that if I do not make it happen, then it won't happen throughout the day. So I am self-employed. So I have nobody to clock me, my time or anything. But I do like to focus when my kids are all in school. I do like to have focus on, razor sharp focus on the things that I need to handle. Right now I'm rebranding, rebuilding my business. So there's a lot going on. And I don't want to interrupt my day with, let me go take a shower, or let me go for this walk. Because once I'm in a zone, I don't leave it. And it's actually hard to leave the zone when my kids get off the bus. So I don't like to interrupt my day. So I don't. So I know if it doesn't happen before my kids wake up, it's definitely not going to happen after my kids wake up. And that's another reason why I chose Monday through Friday. Monday through Friday is consistent. It means consistency for me. Because I think like oftentimes like we think consistency means every day. And sometimes that might not be the definition for you. I made consistency according to my life. Like that's how I defined consistency for me. I stopped letting social media past, life experiences from other people define it for me, and I actually defined it for myself. Thanks to my man Gary Vee, because I love him. He's a marketer. And so he's, someone asked him a question in one of his videos, and he said, he was like, oh, I'm not consistent. And Gary Vee said, well, what is consistency for you? And the dude answered him whatever he answered him, but that question stuck with me. So this was about maybe a month ago, maybe in August, 2 months ago. So like consistency for me is Monday through Friday. So I get myself out the bed by telling myself that it's only 10 minutes. Once I actually start walking, like I actually don't want to stop. So I do two laps. It's a half a mile around my little, it's not a block because I ain't in the city, but around my neighborhood, my little neighborhood, it's a half a mile. It takes me about 10 minutes to do a half a mile. So I walk, I don't run. And so I can actually lap twice. And then before I have to go get my kids, like when I get up at 6:30. And before I wake up my kids, I can lap twice before 7:15. Okay, cool. But I run into a problem because I don't want to stop. But I have to stop because I have to wake my kids up. And I just keep telling myself, if you actually get up at 6 a.m., you'll have time to do maybe 2 more laps before you have to, wake up the kids. But the hardest thing to do is actually getting up. So right now, I'm working on just getting up between 6 a.m. to 6:30. Getting up and do my walk or whatever it is I'm doing. That's what I'm working on building consistency with. Once I actually not perfect it, but just be consistent with it, then I'm gonna move on to not hitting the snooze button, or maybe instead of hitting it 3 times, maybe hit it twice, maybe hit it once, to see how early I can actually get up. So it's definitely a journey. It's a mental journey. A lot of it is a mental journey. I don't know if you ever heard of that quote from Will Smith. You can't win. Oh, that's not it. You can't win the war against the world until you win the war against your mind. Because a lot of the stuff we doing, a lot of the stuff that we want to do or don't want to do, or a lot of stuff that we're struggling with, it's mental. It's a mental battle. And you have to fight yourself in your head in order to be better. To be better than you. To be better than the previous version of you. To be better than who you were yesterday. That's what I tell my kids, right? Your goal every day is to be a better version of what you were yesterday. So let's say you go to school and you got a C on your test, and then the next day you have another, math test, and your goal is to get at least a B. And then the next time is to get an A. And then once you reach the highest, you stay there. That's where consistency lies. And then you stay there and you keep hitting that A. That's what it's like for us. Especially with having weight loss surgery and trying to figure out the whole food thing. Every day you try to be better than your yesterday, right? So yesterday, maybe you ate a little bit too much. Today, okay, instead of having 3 extra snacks, I'm only going to have 2. And that should help me with my protein, and up my protein, or increase my water, or whatever it is that your goal is. So every day you just try to do a little bit better, because it's a mental battle. And if you can't win the war in your mind, then you won't be able to win at all. And after having bariatric surgery, I realized that almost any diet would have worked for me. Almost any diet would have worked if I actually worked it. If I actually understood that this journey wasn't about the physical. It was about the mental. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And it took me having bariatric surgery to really, really, really understand that. And it's understood. I understand it now. I completely understood. So bariatric, my sleeve don't have to work for me. It won't work for me. It won't work for me if I give up. It won't work for me if I give up and just be like, oh, well, I'll just continue to eat whatever I want. My sleep will stop working. It will. And it has. There's stories. Go Google it. There's stories out there on the internet. People say, oh, I had to sleep and it didn't work for me because they didn't do the work in their mind. So that's why, like, me fighting myself in my head when it comes to being consistent, I think that's like my platform, just like being consistent, because that's the only way that's the only way to succeed. And it's like, it's a struggle because there's so many other things that are glittery and shiny and pretty and, tasty. But if I don't get my mind right, like if I don't get it right, then nothing will work. Like, I won't get the muscles I want, I'll forever be 220 something or worse, higher, I won't get down to my goal weight. So that's why this whole building consistency thing, that's why it's so important for me.